saves American taxpayers $120 billion annually, which is what we're spending on obesity and related medical problems. President Obama needs $1 trillion over a 10-year period to pay for his new health care bill. Multiply that figure times 10, and Obama's got that paid for out of money we're already spending. Implementing a program like this nationally saves millions of young lives that are currently floating down the childhood obesity sewer. And that means self-esteem, that means productive capacity in the workplace, that is stuff that we're talking, that factors into the economy. So it's not just feeling good about yourself and living a quality of life, which is an important thing, but there's all sorts of things that move into this. All right. At the final point here, I want to say that Lombard Kiwanis Club members can help solve the problem locally. How do you do that? You can do it by introducing your own kids and your own grandkids to the pull-up bar, helping them learn to do pull-ups. It's just not a very hard thing to do. You could, if you like what we're saying here, you could sponsor a pull your own weight program in Lombard schools, in Lombard Park districts, in the Lombard Boys and Girls Clubs. And my question is, when do we start? The sooner we start, the sooner it happens. Why wait? We could take this further. If you like what's going on here, we could talk to Kiwanis clubs across DuPage, across Illinois, across America, around the world, and it is all about understanding what we're talking about here and taking action. Why wait? We do a weekly newsletter. If you'd be interested in getting a copy of the newsletter, go to the homepage of the website and click on the link and follow the buttons. I'm not very technical. I understand pull-ups, but I don't understand that technology stuff. That pull-up bar is about as technical as I get. But we'd love to add you to our newsletter. And with that, I would like to entertain any questions and any comments.
You said
Ken.
that you started this program in Davenport, and how did it work out? What was the end result?
The end result is we taught hundreds of kids to do pull-ups, and not only did we I shouldn't say that. I like to rephrase it. We helped hundreds of kids learn to do pull-ups. They're doing the work. We provide the information, but you can't do it for them. Okay? We had 7 habits that help kids grow strong in a pull-up bar. Number 1 is you got to get regular work. Number 2 is you got to eat right. Number 3 is you have to get sufficient rest. Number 4 is you got to stay away from tobacco, alcohol, and drugs, because those things make you weak. All right? And the 7th thing is you have to take responsibility to do this yourself. Nobody else can do the work on that pull-up bar but you. You might be able to push your English stuff off and have somebody else help you out, or mom and dad help you with your homework. But mom and dad cannot help you on that pull-up bar. You've got to do it yourself. This is all about taking responsibility for getting to work, eating right, getting your rest, and staying away from things that make you weak if you want to be strong. I had a little kindergartner. This is probably the height of my 17-year educational experience, but I was talking to a kindergarten group, a little black fella, and he stood up and he said, "Coach Osbourne, my Uncle Willie wanted me to smoke a cigarette last night." And he said, and I told Uncle Willie, "No way, that'll make me weak." And that's an honest-to-God, true story. The point is, kindergartners get it. Now, if you're a PhD, you probably would have a hard time getting this simple explanation. But if you're a kindergartner, you get it. And if you don't have a PhD, it's pretty simple.
A follow-up question. You were saying when you begin it in kindergarten, you create the right atmosphere so that the child is not embarrassed. Would you kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah.
Because that sounds like it's key to the program.
Yeah. It is. It is. And let me kind of clarify the question. My point is that the earlier you start, the better off you are. The better the odds of getting away from the bad habits. The greater the odds of staying away from this whole supersizing experience. If you start young, the supersize thing hasn't taken root. The poison has not gotten into the veins, and you don't have to battle with rehabilitation. Anyway, the method that we use to help kids learn to do pull-ups is to combine what's called a height adjustable pull-up bar, which raises and lowers in 1-inch increments. And then we use a technique called leg-assisted pull-ups, which is to say you can jump and pull at the same time. And we simply lower that bar to a point where Johnny or Susie or whoever it is can do at least 8 leg-assisted pull-ups, and it should be easy. We want them to easily be able to do 8 leg-assisted pull-ups. We want them to succeed in front of their friends. And when they get done, we want them to get high fives and a congratulations to the teachers, and we want them to just feel absolutely spectacular at the end of that experience. Now, we worked them out twice a week, and we allowed them to do 1 more repetition each time. So in the second workout, they were allowed to do 9. Not 10, 9. In the third workout, they were allowed to do 10. In the fourth, 11. In the fifth, 12. When they hit 12, we raised the pull-up bar 1 inch. And we did the whole 8 to 12 routine all over again. And then when they hit 12, raised it 1 inch. And you do the 8 to 12. The point is, the increments of change are very, very small. And with very, very small increments of change, what happens is you get kids who are getting stronger in front of their friends every workout, every week, all month long, all year long, and they fall in love with doing pull-ups. They will pay, these kids, I had tons of kids who would pay you money that they didn't have for the opportunity to get on the pull-up bar and show you what they could do. We had an instance at a Hy-Vee grocery store. Does anybody ever know what Hy-Vee grocery store? It's famous in Iowa. It's where Kurt Warner was doing shelves before he became an NFL quarterback. But it was during a presidential election year, and we brought kids down with the pull-up bar, and kids would in return for people registering to vote, kids would do 5 or 6 pull-ups, and we registered tons of people to do, and these kids just kept doing pull-ups on top of pull-ups on top of pull-ups. So that's, and you're absolutely right. The key to anything that we talk about in terms of childhood obesity is motivation. If you don't motivate the kids, you're wasting your time. I don't care how wonderful it is. It's all about motivation. Jay, I'm sorry.
Okay, bottom line, what's the cost?
Bottom line, what's the cost? Okay. The equipment costs less than $30. You could outfit
Per school,
per school. Per school, yeah. So I mean the equipment that I would recommend to you are basically our height adjustable straps. We've gotten away from the bar itself, but they're like gymnastic rings, and they raise and lower not in 1 inch increments, but in infinite. And the whole idea is exactly the same. You start low, you raise it, and they eventually run out of legs. And when they run out of legs, they are doing conventional pull-ups. They are naturally immunized against obesity for life, as long as they maintain the ability to pull-ups. We could kill the obesity epidemic, plague in the United States of America in a dozen years. I have had a conversation with U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa for about 15-20 minutes. He liked what we said enough that he got on the Senate floor and put a plug in on behalf of pull-ups as a way to immunize kids against obesity for life. We have a group called the American Society of Exercise Physiologists, which is a bunch of PhDs who wrestle with physical efficiency, which is basically what you're talking about with obesity, who have said of this strategy, this is a simple, easily implemented, easily documented, and affordable solution to child obesity. I would change affordable to cheap.